I laser cut the intake.
How'd you do that? We ain't got no laser.
I lasered it back there on this bench and took my grinder and cut it. Don't you?
Oh,
It looks
I
nice,
got you.
don't it? Look at that.
Yeah, it looks good. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Nitro Union, and on this episode we're getting Misfit back together. So we got the heads back from the machine shop, so we're going to start putting all that stuff back together because we want to have her as close to being ready as we can for the next race, whenever that might be. So we're just going to get her buttoned up, put her in the trailer, and just sit on it until the time comes for her to come out, and just have it close enough to where all we got to do is get her out, maybe spend a day just cleaning up, doing some plumbing, stuff like that, and be ready to rock and roll. So you guys stay tuned, and we're about to jump on it. So somebody asked in the last episode, about your spring compressor.
Yeah, this is a homemade deal. We had those spring compressors with air and got the little forked thing that they always work really good, but you got springs, which these is just double spring, but some of you triple springs, when you're dealing with like 350 pounds of seat pressure, the old air operated ones, they want to spraddle, they just don't get it. So we just went and to the hardware store and got a big old C-clamp, cut the end off of it, and I made this little cup where my spring is set in it. And it's slow, but it works, and it don't slip off. See,
That'll work.
That's a billet valve spring. Billet your damn self.
Got the new springs in just now, so you're going to start putting them back together?
Yeah, I've already went around and set the height on them. And these set up at 2 inches, so I've already went to check the height and shim them all so they're ready to stick right together.
So we got the heads and everything back on and got them torqued down. So now we're trying to figure this out. If we can get this set up back going, that's like we had it, we can get rid of that whole pump and bracket over there and just put it directly on the timing cover, and that's how we like it. It's just simpler that way. You don't have to worry about throwing a belt off or breaking a belt or something like that. Like, it's just all mechanical. It's gonna work. So just a little bit simpler. So we shim that out, and then it'll go up in the back of that pump extension. That gets it out past the blower belt and all that stuff. It sits there, and then the pump will bolt to the end of that. That's a direct hex drive from the cam. There's a little hex shaft that runs through there, so you don't have to worry about all that belt drive stuff. All right, so we're getting about ready to put the intake and the blower and all that stuff on there. So is that where you at now?
Yeah, getting close to putting the intake back on it. You remember we had the gasket that blew out under the backside over in that motor. That's what happened over there. And it just that old cork gasket, it was old and dried up, and it wasn't much of nothing holding it in there after all. Once we pulled it off, we seen what it was.
Yeah. So we just fix that with silicone, right? Just use silicone.
I use a big bead of silicone back there and let it set up, and I've never had any trouble out of that.
What about the valve cover clearance? So we had an issue with that before, but now that we actually got the intake off, are you going to try to fix that, or
Yeah, I laser cut the intake.
laser cut it?
Yeah, laser cut it.
How'd you do that? We ain't got no laser.
I lasered back there on this bench and took my grinder and cut it. Don't
Oh,
it looks
I
nice,
got you.
don't it? Look at that.
Yeah, it looks good.
See, that's where the valve
Yeah.
cover was touching the intake all across there. So, yeah, I laser cut it.
I got you. All right, so just gonna put some silicone down and stick that on, and then the blower will go on top of that, and then all the rest of it going together. So.
And them gases fit. This and the other one didn't even fit.
Yeah.
They was a lot smaller than the port.
Yeah, those are pretty good fit right there.
I like to put a little bit of silicone on everything. Really, as a lubricant, when you set the intake on it, when you start targeting, the intake wants to slide. And I guess what you want to do is let it slide until it gets into place, but you don't want it to grab the gasket and pull it out of place. You know?
Right.
I love it. Who puts a poot in them tubes of silicone? That's the best job in the world.
The air bubble probably accounts for several ounces worth of.
I'm telling you, you can't tell me that they don't put it in there on purpose. You can see the old school way somebody went along there and spent a few minutes with a center punch pecking that block on each end. And the idea for doing that was to keeping that gasket from pushing
Yeah.
out when it kept, supposedly helped hold the gasket. But that's old school. That's all we had back in the day. That was the best way to do it. But what they didn't account for is that cork gasket over time shrinking. And anyway, this is what we use, the new gasket, ultra gray. I'm trying to hold my tongue just right. Now when I set the intake on there, that would pooch you in and kind of roll over. And once it gets hard, the ultra gray I think gets harder than the rest of the silicone.
Yeah, it's a little bit more firm than the black or anything. So.
Anyway, it's my favorite. Laser cut intake.
Yeah, got some squish in the front. That thing hangs over the back a good bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you can see right in the distributor hole where it
Yeah.
squished that in there a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So once that hardens up, it'll give it that lip on the inside, so it won't just push straight out. It'll really have to work for that. It shouldn't go anywhere. All right, well that's the intake on. Hopefully it won't be coming off anytime soon again. So. Alright guys, so we got Misfit all back together, and we're about to get her loaded into the trailer, and she is ready to rock. But yeah, so we got the blower and everything on it, and like I said, it's ready to go. We pull her out of the trailer before the next race. We got a couple little things, just finish up some plumbing and electrical. We're gonna get a new set of plug wires and a couple other things we're waiting on. But got to fix the wheelie bars. We got those off, so we'll be working on those. But yeah, so she's ready for 2021, so we're just gonna load her up, and that way we can move on to the next project. So all right guys, thanks for tuning in. That it's a relief to have Misfit back together, and we know it's all 100%, and we know what all's there now, so we're confident in it. And whenever the next opportunity to go to a race comes up, we're going to try to hit it, and it may be next year. We're not really sure just yet, but like I said, she's ready to go in the trailer, ready to rock, as it were. So next week we're going to be working on boogers. As you can see, we've already got her drug out, and we're gonna get on that and get the old barn find big block ready to rock. And we've got to get the tractor going and get some of these long-term projects out of our hair. That way we can get focused on other stuff like Aces High and a few other projects that we got going on. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel a little bit more, we also have stickers in stock. I'm going to flash to those so you can check them out. Pretty cool stickers in my opinion. We got Misfit stickers, Aces High stickers, all that good stuff. We really appreciate you guys' support, and just buying stickers and doing little stuff like that really helps us out. So if you're interested, look down in the description. There's a link to that, and check that stuff out. And we really appreciate you guys' support. The more you guys support the channel, the more we're able to focus on generating videos for you guys. And we really are enjoying doing this, and we want to be able to do it more. Appreciate you guys again, and we'll see you on the next one.